Welcome to the Lucky Health Channel. I'm so happy you've joined our health community today. We're about to explore some truly valuable health knowledge, and I promise your body will thank you for it. If you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's like joining our big health-loving family. And a quick like on this video will give us even more motivation to keep sharing helpful videos with more wonderful people like you. Thank you. Important notes about vegetables to protect your heart. After 60, I want you to imagine this with me. It's lunchtime, and you stop by a little roadside cafe. You order a big plate of fresh noodles piled high with crunchy bean sprouts and microgreens on top. Just looking at it feels refreshing, feels clean and healthy, doesn't it? I know that feeling very well. Even I used to think that microgreens and bean sprouts were nature's perfect little gift, tiny, packed with nutrients and low in calories. But after decades in this profession, after seeing more than a few patients end up in the hospital from what they thought was a harmless dish, I started to see them differently. One of my patients, Elaine, 68 years old, told me, "I eat microgreens every day, doctor. I believe they keep me young and help cleanse my body." But then, one night she called an ambulance, doubled over in pain, running a high fever. When we ran tests, we discovered she had a severe E. coli infection. It nearly progressed into an infection of the heart lining. Let me ask you, have you ever believed that raw sprouts and bean sprouts were perfectly safe? Have you ever told yourself, "They look so fresh, how could they possibly hurt me?" The truth is, sprouts grow in warm, damp environments, the very conditions that bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, and Listeria thrive in. And at 60, 70 years old, our immune systems just aren't as quick or strong as they used to be. What might be just a mild stomach bug for someone young can turn into sepsis, dehydration, heart failure, or even endocarditis, a serious infection of the heart for someone our age. Did you know, when your body is already working hard just to keep up with the years, adding a battle against bacteria can sometimes be more than your heart can take? I once asked Elaine, after she recovered, if you'd known that one plate of raw sprouts could land you in the hospital, would you still have eaten it? She stayed quiet for a moment, then said softly, "I wish I'd known sooner." That's exactly why I'm making this video today, so you don't have to say, "I wish I'd known." You don't have to give up sprouts or microgreens if you enjoy them. But treat them the right way, cook them. Even just a light stir-fry or a quick steam is enough to kill most of the bacteria, while keeping the flavor, the crunch, and the nutrients. Studies have shown that cooking sprouts to just over 170 for a few minutes makes them safe, even for people with weakened immune systems. And that's worth waiting a few extra minutes for, isn't it? I want you to think of your heart like an old friend. It's been by your side for decades, beating without rest, just for you. It doesn't deserve to fight unnecessary battles just because you believed that fresh equals safe. So the next time you're preparing a meal, let your sprouts and bean sprouts get just a little heat so you can please your taste buds and protect your health at the same time. Have you ever had a problem after eating raw vegetables? Have you ever asked yourself, "Am I really treating my body kindly?" Share your story in the comments below. I'd really love to hear it and learn from you too. And don't forget, your heart has loved you all your life. Now it's time to love it back with small but wise choices, starting with your plate today. I want you to picture this with me, a cozy evening, the whole family gathered around the dinner table. You ladle yourself a steaming spoonful of spicy red soup, sprinkle a little chili powder over your meat bite into a bright red chili pepper, and feel that fiery heat spreading through your mouth. A lot of people believe that spicy means exciting, healthy, even warming, especially in the wintertime. But have you ever noticed, after one of those spicy meals, your heart beating faster than usual, your breathing quickening, your face flushing hot? One of my patients, David 65, once said to me, "Doctor, I've eaten spicy food my whole life. Without it, everything just tastes bland. But lately, my heart feels all over the place. It's uncomfortable." When we ran tests, we found his blood pressure had shot up. His heartbeat was irregular, and the walls of his blood vessels were beginning to show signs of inflammation. You see, red chili peppers, especially the really hot, concentrated kinds, aren't just seasoning. They're actually a kind of stimulant. They excite your nervous system, release adrenaline, make your heart race and cause your blood vessels to tighten and then loosen unpredictably. For younger people, that's usually no problem. But at 60 and beyond, when arteries have stiffened and the heart has weakened, those little storms can quietly take a toll, raising blood pressure, disrupting your rhythm, causing chronic inflammation in the vessels. I once asked David, between a few minutes of that fiery kick and the long-term health of your heart, which would you choose? He gave me a sad little smile and said, "I wish I'd thought about that sooner." I'm not telling you to give up flavor entirely, but you don't need fire to make your food delicious. There are so many gentler ways to add depth: ginger, cooked garlic, fresh lemon, fragrant herbs like basil and dill. They bring beautiful flavors without exhausting your heart. I want you to think of your heart as a lifelong companion. It's beaten billions of times for you already. It doesn't need you to stoke more fires. What it needs now is your gentleness. So next time your hand reaches for the chili powder or that bright red pepper, pause and ask yourself, is this heat worth what it asks my heart to bear? Have you ever felt your heart race or feel uneasy after a spicy meal? Would you be willing to try a gentler choice for your heart? Share your story with me in the comments below. I'd really love to hear it. Remember, your heart doesn't need more flames, it just needs more love. And sometimes love starts with the smallest of choices, right there on your plate today. I want you to picture a familiar scene with me early in the morning. You peel a clove of raw garlic, pop it in your mouth, and chew it quickly, believing it's a kind of magic medicine to improve circulation, lower fat, and protect your heart. I know this habit very well. Many people trust it completely. One of my patients, Linda, 72, once proudly told me, "Doctor, I eat 2 or 3 raw garlic cloves every single day. I never skip." But then one day she came into the clinic pale, dizzy, with a nosebleed that wouldn't stop for hours. Her blood pressure had dropped to a dangerous level. We had to give her fluids and keep her under observation through the night. That's when she looked at me, surprised, and asked, "Could it really be the garlic, doctor?" I thought garlic was good for the blood. Let me make this clear, garlic Especially raw garlic really does thin the blood. That's one reason people praise it as good for the heart. But at 60 or 70, especially if you're already taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin or aspirin, that same effect can become dangerous. When your blood becomes too thin and your vessels are more fragile, you're at risk of internal bleeding, easy bruising, dizziness, even fainting. I've seen patients who thought they were healthy the natural way end up in the hospital with black stools from a bleeding stomach or suddenly collapse from dizziness simply because they ate too much raw garlic while still taking medication. Garlic isn't bad, but the way you use it matters. When cooked, garlic still keeps much of its flavor and benefits, but its blood-thinning effect becomes gentler and safer. And whether cooked or raw, you should use it in moderation and always talk to your doctor before turning it into your daily medicine. I want you to stop and ask yourself, are you taking both a blood thinner and raw garlic every day without even realizing it? Have you ever noticed dizziness, easy bruising, or bleeding? That's hard to stop after a small cut. That could be your body's way of saying, please, be more gentle with me. Remember, your heart has worked hard for you all your life. Now it's your turn to protect it with knowledge, not blind faith. A little cooked garlic, a little caution, and you can still enjoy the health benefits safely. So next time you pick up a clove of raw garlic, think of Linda's story and choose a kinder way to care for your body. I want you to imagine a familiar lunch with me, a sandwich, a few slices of meat, and next to it, a little plate of pickles, crisp, salty, tangy. You grab one bite down and hear that satisfying crunch. It feels so good, doesn't it? I understand so many people love this little side dish. One of my patients, Joseph, 70, once told me, "Doctor, I gave up fried foods. I gave up sugar, but please don't make me give up my pickles. Without them, the meal just feels..." But then, a few months later, he came back to my office looking puzzled and asked, "Why is my blood pressure still high, even though I've cut so many things? Why are my legs swollen and I feel more tired?" When we took a closer look, the culprit was that little plate of pickles. You see, pickles are really just cucumbers soaked in heavy brine. Just a few slices can carry hundreds, even over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That's close to 2/3 of the salt you should have for the whole day, packed into just a few bites. Salt doesn't just make things taste good. It holds water in your blood, increases your blood volume, and forces your heart to pump harder and faster to move it all around. Over time, that raises blood pressure, stiffens your arteries, and can even lead to heart failure. The scary part: salt doesn't announce itself. It doesn't make you feel pain right away. You feel fine until one day you suddenly have chest pain or a doctor tells you you have heart failure. We need to admit you. I once told Joseph, you don't have to give it up completely, but treat your heart more kindly. Together, we decided to start making lower salt pickles at home, adding lemon herbs, even a little roasted garlic for flavor. Still crisp, still delicious, but much safer for his heart. Let me ask you, are you quietly eating saltier than your body can handle without realizing it? Are you willing to try a gentler version for your heart? Remember, your heart has carried you through this life, every single beat. A quiet act of love. You don't have to give up every flavor. Just choose smarter, softer ways, the same way you'd choose to treat yourself. So next time you reach for a pickle, pause and ask yourself, am I nourishing my heart or testing it? And I believe if you're willing to change even just a little, your heart will thank you for it. Every single day, I want you to imagine this with me. It's a quiet morning. You make yourself a green smoothie toss in a big handful of fresh spinach and tell yourself, I'm doing the best thing for my health, for my heart. I know that feeling very well. One of my patients, Margaret, 74, once told me, "Doctor, I eat spinach every single day as much as I can. I want my blood to be clean, my arteries clear." But then one day she called me worried I don't understand. Even though I take my medication every day, my blood tests came back worse. The doctor said my blood is too thick, now my risk of stroke is higher. And when we looked closer, we found the reason right there in the spinach. You see, spinach, long thought of as a superfood, really is good for many people. It's rich in fiber, iron, and vitamins. But it's also so high in vitamin K that at this age, and especially if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, it can become a double-edged sword. Vitamin K helps your blood clot more easily, but that's the opposite of what your medication is trying to do. Those drugs are prescribed to keep your blood flowing freely, to prevent strokes and dangerous clots. I once asked Margaret, "Did you know spinach can interfere with your medication?" She shook her head and said, "I thought the more vegetables, the better." Let me be clear with you. Spinach isn't the enemy. The problem is inconsistency. If today you eat a lot and tomorrow none, your vitamin K levels swing up and down and your medication can't keep up. So yes, you can eat spinach. But keep it steady, keep it moderate, and most importantly, tell your doctor about it so they can adjust your medication properly. Let me ask you, are you taking blood thinners but never mentioning your diet to your doctor? Have you always assumed that the more vegetables, the better? Heart health at this age isn't just about what you do. It's about how well you understand your body. Remember, your heart has been working non-stop for you all these years. Now it needs you to listen and treat it fairly, not with extremes, not with neglect, but with understanding. So next time you hold a bunch of spinach in your hands, remember, it's still a gift, as long as you know how to give it to your heart the right way, in the right amount, and at the right time. I want you to picture a familiar moment. You open the fridge and see a bunch of wilted greens, a few sweet potatoes with little mold spots at the ends, a soft, mushy tomato. And you tell yourself, well, it's a shame to waste it. I'll just cut off the bad parts. It's still good enough. I'm not rich after all. I truly understand that. One of my patients, Stephen, 73, used to do exactly that. He told me, "Doctor, I grew up poor. I never threw anything away. Wilted vegetables still make good soup. Moldy potatoes, I just cut off the bad part and cooked the rest." Never hurt me before. But then he came to see me, tired, slightly, swollen, his tests showing liver damage and inflamed blood vessels. We discovered he'd been eating foods contaminated with mold toxins, what we call mycotoxins, quietly building up in those wilted, moldy vegetables. You see, when vegetables become wilted, soft, or moldy, they don't just lose their nutrients, they can also grow invisible fungal toxins. These can't always be seen or smelled, but over time, they can inflame the liver, damage blood vessels, and cause chronic inflammation. And when your blood vessels are inflamed, your heart has to work harder just to push blood through those damaged pipes. Over time, this can lead to heart failure. I remember asking Stephen, if you had known that just one wilted bunch of vegetables could hurt your health, would you still have eaten it? He was quiet for a moment, then slowly said, I wish I'd just thrown it out sooner. I understand at our age we value every dollar, every morsel of food. But your heart, your health is worth far more. So next time you see wilted or moldy vegetables, don't feel bad. Tell yourself, I deserve to eat what's fresh and clean. Choose bright, crisp, healthy produce. If you can't use it right away, store it properly or portion it so nothing goes to waste. Have you ever thought you were saving money, but really you were asking your heart and liver to pay the price? Have you ever felt tired, unwell, without knowing why? Sometimes the reason is right there in those old, tired vegetables. Remember, your heart has worked for you all your life. Don't make it pay the price for a little regret. You deserve fresh, clean meals just like the quiet hope your heart has carried for you all these years. I want you to picture a familiar meal. You stop by the little pho shop on the corner, order a steaming hot bowl, and the server brings over a plate of fresh green herbs, lettuce, basil, mint. You grab a big handful, toss it into your bowl, and tell yourself, eating more greens is healthy. It cools me down. I know that feeling very well. One of my patients, Judith, 69, also loved the fresh herbs at her favorite restaurant. She told me, Doctor, I just can't eat pho without the herbs. I stop by the shop every single day. But then she came back to see me complaining of stomach pain, fatigue, weight loss. One time, she even had to be hospitalized for a serious intestinal infection. When we ran tests, we found she was infected with bacteria from contaminated food, very likely from that plate of raw herbs at the restaurant. You see, those herbs at restaurants are sometimes not washed properly, maybe just rinsed quickly. On top of that, many carry traces of pesticides and chemical fertilizers you can't see. When you're young and your immune system is strong, your body can usually handle it. But at 60 or 70, when your defenses are weaker, those bacteria and toxins can cause serious digestive issues, dehydration, exhaustion, or even severe infections that spread to the heart, something called endocarditis, which is very dangerous. I once asked Judith, if you knew that one plate of restaurant herbs could put you in the hospital for a week, would you still eat them? She just gave me a sad little smile and said, I wish I'd just prepared them at home. I'm not saying you have to give up raw herbs, but prepare them yourself. At home, you can wash them thoroughly, soak them in salted water, rinse them with boiled water, and choose greens from safer sources. Those few extra minutes of care can save your heart and body from a fight it shouldn't have to face. Ask yourself, are you casually eating herbs without knowing if they're clean? Have you ever felt tired, had diarrhea, and just thought, oh, it's just old age? Maybe that plate of restaurant herbs was your body's warning. Remember, your heart has quietly protected you all your life. Now it's your turn to protect it by choosing meals that are kinder to yourself. A plate of clean, fresh herbs. You prepare yourself, not only tastes better and feels safer, but it's also a beautiful way to say thank you to your heart. I want you to picture this with me, a steaming plate of vegetables in front of you, tender green broccoli, glistening orange carrots, soft golden sweet potatoes, a few deep green leaves of kale, some lightly sautéed green beans. Those colors aren't just beautiful to look at. They are the colors of health, of peace, of kindness to your heart. I once asked one of my patients, Rose 71, "How do you like your vegetables?" She smiled and said, "I like them raw. They're so crunchy, but my stomach always feels upset after." The truth is, after decades of carrying you through life, your heart and your blood vessels are much happier when you choose tender, cooked, colorful vegetables instead. Cooked vegetables, whether steamed, boiled, or lightly sautéed, are not only easier to digest, they still hold plenty of fiber, potassium, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds. These help clean out your blood vessels, steady your blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and let your heart work without strain. Have you ever noticed? After a meal of raw veggies, your stomach feels heavy, you feel tired. But after a warm plate of cooked vegetables, you feel lighter, calmer. That's your body whispering, "Thank you." I've seen patients who simply switched from raw to steamed broccoli, roasted carrots, soft, sweet potatoes, stewed beans, and within weeks, their blood pressure came down, their sleep improved, their energy returned. Broccoli, carrots, sweet potatoes, beans, kale. They don't just nourish your body, they paint your plate with joy, so you can eat with your eyes, your mouth, and your heart. I want you to ask yourself, how many colors are on your plate today? Is it soft and comforting, or just a dull, hard, gray-green pile? Remember, your heart has worked quietly for you for decades. Now it deserves to be cared for with meals that are complete, colorful, and full of love. So next time you're preparing dinner, choose fresh, vibrant vegetables, cook them gently, and arrange them like a bright, cheerful painting on your plate. Every bite of those tender, colorful vegetables is your way of saying to your heart, "I cherish you." And you see, everything I shared with you today, from raw to cooked vegetables, from green to red, from careless habits to thoughtful choices, is really just to remind you of one simple thing. Your heart has been quietly working for you for decades. And now, it deserves to be loved and cared for more wisely. I truly believe that every small change, every plate of clean vegetables, every gentle choice, is a gift you give back to your heart, and in return, it will smile and thank you with stronger, steadier beats. So now that you've finished this video, I want to ask you, what have you realized? What will you change in your meals starting today? Please share your story, your thoughts in the comments below. Because who knows, your story might inspire someone else who really needs it right now. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next videos, where we'll continue to discover more ways to live healthier, calmer, and stronger every single day. Thank you for staying with me until the very end of this video. Wishing you a day full of health, full of smiles, and full of peaceful heartbeats. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Video is for reference. Please consult your doctor before applying.